What's going on, guys? This is Serious the Warlock here, and today I'm going to bring you a very requested video. I was just thinking about it, and I think of all the videos that I've made, this is the 5th most requested video. Number one's probably Green Fire. After that is probably add-ons and user interface, and then keybinds, which I have a video on all of these, damage guide. And then I think this was probably the 5th most requested, and it's on movement. So if you guys don't know, I do all of my movement through my mouse. I have no buttons on my keyboard related to movement. So that frees up, it makes my right hand is on my mouse, does nothing but move. My left hand is on my keyboard, does nothing but press buttons and do damage. And I like keeping the two separate, so I move with one hand, push buttons and do damage with the other. Alright, so the first thing I'll do is show you guys my mouse, and you'll have to excuse me, my mouse is very dirty. I've had it for a very long time. It has taken a beating over the years, and it's still working just as good as the day that I bought it. I have to applaud Logitech because their gaming mice and keyboards have lasted way longer than a lot of other gaming peripheral manufacturers have in the past. I just won't name any names there. I'm just going to say that Logitech is doing a very good job. Alright, so the mouse is a Logitech G9. Pretty standard mouse. It's got a left and right click. It's got a center scroll wheel that also clicks and moves left and right if you'd like it to. And 2 buttons for your thumb. And then it also has sensitivity markers as well. So you can adjust your sensitivity on the fly if you want. So you could be, some people probably do this maybe in first-person shooters, adjust their sensitivity live, but I really don't touch that setting. And then you also have the mouse scroll wheel, which also clicks left and right if you'd like. I don't have it set at any keybinds to that, but it's available if I need it to. It also clicks down along with left and right, and then scrolls, of course. And then you got your 2 clicky buttons, left and right. My keyboard, if you're curious about my keyboard, I can show you that too. My keyboard is a Logitech G510. It's very nice, very customizable. It's got macro keys. It's got a nice LED that will show you the stats inside the battleground, like your killing blows and stuff like that, and who's winning inside the battleground. I don't know that I've ever looked at it inside of a battleground, but it's kind of cool, and it really doesn't bother me. You can adjust the brightness of it. You can change the colors. You can actually bring up a color wheel and choose which color your keyboard's going to glow. It's got all your volume controls built right into it. It's very nice. I really like it. It's not real loud. I'm not too into the mechanical keyboards just because I'm in a small condo and I have my girlfriend here, and that keyboard, mechanical keyboards are just way too loud. Alright, so this is going to be tough, but I'm going to try to pull this off. I'm going to hold the web camera with my left hand, try to hold it steady on my right hand as I maneuver around, and keep my focus on the game at the same time. That way I can see exactly what my character is doing. Luckily, I'm going back and editing this after I take the video footage, so I don't have to talk at the same time too. Alright, so here we go. To move forward, all you need to do is click both left and right mouse buttons down at the same time. Both fingers, same time, character moves forward. It's pretty easy. No more W key to go forward or arrow key. Now you also need to know the difference between holding just down the left mouse button and just the right mouse button and moving your mouse around. So when you're holding just the right click button down and moving your mouse, it's moving your camera angle and the direction that your character is facing, which is extremely important because a lot of abilities can only be cast facing your opponent. I'd say most are only cast facing your opponent. However, when you hold down the left mouse button and move your mouse around, it's only moving the camera angle and your character is not moving at all. This is very important if you want your character to face one way, but you want to look and see what's coming from another direction. There's lots of times where I just want to move the camera, but I don't want to move my character. Once you become comfortable with your class and the game and the mechanics, you want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to be able to be doing one thing and multitask and look around and pay attention to what everything else that's going around you. And a lot of times that means you don't want to move your character, you just want to move your camera. Now the buttons for my thumb, I have them bound to strafe. The one that's more in the front is bound to strafe left, and the one that's in the back is bound to strafe right. Okay, so strafing is really important because it allows you to move side to side without any loss of movement speed. If you move backwards, there's a loss of movement speed, but if you're moving forward or strafing side to side, there is not. So strafing allows you to not just move side to side, but if you angle it right, you're moving away from your opponent with zero loss of movement speed while still facing your opponent and being able to do damage to them. Strafing also comes in very handy when it comes to maneuvering around pillars. If you want to pop out from behind a pillar and use an ability on your opponent and then jump right back, you can do so without... if you were moving forward in doing that, you would need to look away from your opponent. But this way you can keep your eyes on your opponent, you can pop out, use the ability, pop right back behind. So now here's a quick clip of me just putting it all together and showing you guys how you use all the mouse buttons together to move around. So right here I'm just strafing back and forth, left and right, just using the thumb keys. Then when you not only strafe, but you introduce the right click button on your mouse at the same time, then you're not only moving left and right, but you can add a curve to it. You can change the direction that your character is running left and right. You can actually do little circles if you'd like to. You can run towards an opponent or away from an opponent if you'd like to. Here I'm strafing with the left mouse button, so I'm moving one direction, but I can look and pay attention to what's going on, the direction that I'm heading, or the direction I was moving from, if maybe I'm running away from somebody. And you can pay attention to what's coming up in front of you in case you're about to run into somebody. So I'm just going to move around for just another moment. I'm trying to actually over-exaggerate my movements on my mouse. I don't actually lift my fingers that far off of the mouse, but I'm trying to show you guys exactly what buttons I'm pushing and when. I'm not doing a very good job at it, but I'm trying. Now, Alt on my keyboard is the main modifier that I use for almost everything. That's because it's very easy for my thumb to slide off of the spacebar, which I use for jump, and press the Alt key to modify any one of my keys on my mouse or my keyboard. And there are a lot of keys on my mouse that I use for other things than just movement. So for example, when I click the center scroll wheel down, it casts Rain of Fire. That's because you have to actually choose with your mouse where that ability is going to land. And it's easy for me to have all that already built into the mouse, so I can click the button on my mouse and decide where it's going to land all with the same hand. I also do all of my pet commands through my mouse. So if I scroll the wheel forward, my pet attacks. If I scroll backwards, my pet comes back to me. Forward attacks, backwards comes back to me. I'm going to link the exact macros that I use. I'll put them down in the description below so you can have them for yourself. Basically, the one is pet attack to move forward, and to move backwards is pet passive and pet follow, so your pet will automatically, no matter what it's doing, it'll come back to you. There's a couple more things that I also have bound to my mouse, but I need to not hold the camera up. So I need to take the camera away and put my hand back on the keyboard because it's the Alt modifier. When I hold in Alt and I click my mouse wheel down, it tells my pet move to this location. This is done through the /petMove2 command, which I'll also link in the description. It's just a key. I set up the macro and I just placed it somewhere on the screen on one of my hidden action bars, and I bound it to Alt mouse click down, and I can tell my pet move to this location, follow me. I just scroll the wheel back. If I want it to attack, I just say scroll wheel forward. You may still want to have your spell lock available if you get feared and you don't want you and your pet to be feared at the same time. So you can just tell your pet, go sit in the corner and wait for me, and it'll just sit there in the corner in timeout until you tell it to come follow you again. Now, I don't have this in the video, but a lot of people like to use their mouse scroll wheel to change their camera, zoom in and zoom out. I like that too, so what I did is I went inside Blizzard's default options and I changed the controls to control and then scroll wheel in or out. So that way I just need to use the modifier and I can still control whether my camera zooms in or out. Now, changing my camera angle isn't something that I do often, so it was okay to make it control, which is a key that is a little bit harder for me to hit. It's a modifier that I don't use often. Now, an ability that I do use often, and I need to be everyone needs to be very quick at hitting when they need it, is your PvP get out of jail free CC trinket. Gets you out of all your CC every 2 minutes. That one I have bound to Alt scroll wheel down. I'm very quick at just sliding my thumb over and scrolling the mouse wheel down at practically the same time. There's almost zero delay whenever I need my PvP trinket. Along the same lines, if you're a class that has a racial that gets you out of CC, like Will of the Forsaken, I bound that to Alt scroll wheel up. So that way I can scroll wheel up for Will of the Forsaken or scroll wheel down for PvP trinket. Now, another ability that comes in pretty handy is auto run. It's not something I use, well, maybe I do use it all the time, but no, I use it in combat too. Auto run is really important if you want to run one way and you want to look around and see what else is going on around you, what's behind you, what's to the side of you, but you want to continue running in one direction. Or maybe just want to space out and on your way somewhere. I use auto run a lot. Now I have that bound to Alt and the back thumb button on my mouse, the same one I use to strafe to the right. It's just what I'm used to, it's what I'm comfortable with. It's nice to just be able to auto run and look around and adjust your camera and see everything else that's going around. Like I said, it's very important to pay attention to your surroundings, and I like to do that when I'm running into one direction. Maybe you just want to AFK on your way to the Timeless Owl because that's a long ass trip. Auto run comes in handy. The last thing that I wanted to bring up really quick is camera angles. Now this comes in really handy if you want to look around the corner, but you don't want to expose yourself. You don't want to look around the corner yourself. You just want to see, you visually see, not your character see, but you see what's around the corner without exposing your character. You can just adjust the camera angle and look around that corner and see what's there without actually needing to travel there with your own character. Here you can see I want to look around the corner. I want to see what that dwarf or that mage around the corner is up to. If I didn't adjust my camera angle, I would need to go there myself, but I can just, move the camera off to the right or left, however you want to describe that, and then click on them and see what's over there. It might sound dumb to people that have been playing this game for a long time, but if you're new or if you're not used to moving with the mouse, you can't do this stuff, so it's important. Well, that's about all I have, guys. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I'm just kind of jumping around right now, showing you guys how I can move away from an opponent and still do damage to them while still facing them. It's very quick. Don't run backwards. The last thing I'd like to say is that you can get used to using anything that you'd like with a little bit of practice. Actually, a lot of practice. You want to actually practice it to the point where you're not even thinking about the buttons that you're pushing anymore. It becomes muscle memory. And lots of people will show you many different ways that you can move around your character or use keybinds. And it's important to just find something that you're comfortable with. And even you don't have to be 100% comfortable with it. You don't even have to be 50% comfortable with it. Just use it. And if you use it long enough, you will become comfortable with it. And if you use it even longer than that, it will just be built into what you do and your muscle memory, and it'll just be second nature. You won't even be thinking about how you're moving, and it'll, like for me, be difficult to make a video explaining exactly how you move, because then you have to analyze it, because I just move. It's not even a thought to me anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, thumbs it up. It's going to go in the guide section on the front of my channel. If you guys didn't notice, like a month ago, I went through all of my videos and I organized everything. So I have full-length rated battlegrounds, fun random battlegrounds, guides. My music is organized. I have everything pretty much organized on the front of my channel. So I'm going to place this under the guides along with my other, like how to do damage guides and everything else. So if you want, go ahead and check them out. User interface guide on there as well. I think that's it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Take care.